Coming up on SBU TV, one St. Bonaventure student travels to the west coast while another takes a trip north of the border. Welcome to SBU TV. I'm Brittany Slomba.
And I'm Madeleine Faircloth. For our first story, we are going to go live to Ethan Kibbe in the newsroom. Take it away, Ethan.
You may have noticed that one of our reporters, Amelia Kibbe, wasn't on the newscast last week. It's not because she was lazy, quite the opposite actually. She was a few thousand miles away, being rewarded for her hard work. Last week, Amelia left St. Bonaventure, headed for sunny Los Angeles County, California, to receive the Kibbe-Murray Memorial Scholarship.
When I got to California, they kept telling me that they were going through a cold spell, but it was probably 78 degrees.
Kibbe-Murray was a Pulitzer Prize-winning sports writer, and Amelia received the award for her sports story about Katie Sinclair, a Bonaventure softball player who donated her bone marrow. Amelia says she found inspiration in Murray.
You know, he's a sports writer, but he really liked the human aspect. He liked to write about the people, the people in the games, the people behind the stats.
In California, she got to learn from other journalists and tell them about her experience.
For me, one of the best parts about the trip was getting to talk to different editors and writers and the other winners, and getting to tell them about St. Bonaventure and the journalism program we have here.
She says the best part of the trip, though, was getting to view the city from the 27th story of City Hall.
It was a really pretty view, getting to see just how big it was, how cool it was.
It sounds like a fun trip in California, but I, for one, am glad she's back here.
Thanks, Ethan, and congratulations, Amelia.
An Lian family met with the Zoning Board of Appeals last week to discuss the changing an old school into a rehab and urgent care center. Amelia Kibbe has the story.
Steve and Michele Pancio hope to soon begin rehabilitating a former elementary school building into a medical rehabilitation center. The Pancios, along with Steve's brother, Dr. George Pancio, hope to renovate the former Boardmanville Elementary on Main Street and Hamilton Avenue.
Right now, we're in the stages where we need to be approval from the city before we move forward with our CON. The CON is called the Certificate of Need, and it's issued to the New York State Health Department.
Pancios say they believe the facility will help with the growing number of medical facilities around Lian General Hospital.
But a natural progression of a medical campus, which has grown significantly over the last 15-20 years.
The Pancios say another reason for the new facility is to bring jobs to the local area. Both Pancios say they have talked to community members for feedback.
Responses that this is something this area has needed for a long time. We certainly understand, the neighborhood not wanting to change, but unfortunately, the school did close.
The board has 62 days to respond. Until then, these doors will remain closed. With SBU TV, I'm Amelia Kibbe.
The Pancios say the 90-bed facility would be a private practice and not a hospital.
Election day is just around the corner. This past week, St. Bonaventure faculty and students joined together to provide a mock presidential debate. Natalie Kutchko provides the story.
The candidates standing before you represent each major party's nominee for the upcoming presidential election. They have put time into researching their candidates' policies and are ready to inform you of your voting options.
St. Bonaventure students reenacted a presidential debate in honor of Election Day coming up next week. The students represented the candidates of each major party. They researched policies and beliefs to portray an accurate representation of each candidate. R.J. Moavero, a Bonaventure senior, acted as Donald Trump. He commented on his experience from the event.
I took some of the things he said, especially the key points, like on healthcare and foreign policy, but I tried to create my own argument. I really wanted to make it kind of original and give it a college spin to it.
Moavero's friend, Cannavina, was in attendance on Wednesday and enjoyed the program.
I thought the debate tonight, I thought it was really good. It was a lot of fun. I thought it was really important what we did last year with the primary debate, and then even more important this year, especially with the election in, less than a week.
The moderators presented a variety of topics for the candidates to voice their opinions on.
We must all be held accountable. Let me repeat that. We must all be held accountable. Nobody is above the law in this country.
It's not enough to have words. We need to put these words into action and have specific policies outlining that.
With the election in just a few days, the mock debate helped the Bonaventure's community come to a better understanding on candidates' political stances. They also encouraged attendees to hear the polls and cast votes on Tuesday. Buses will be running at the top of every hour to an Allegheny polling facility for those who are registered in the area and need transportation.
I was curious to see what our neighbors to the north think of our election, so I grabbed my passport and I hopped in my car. Here's more. With the election coming up in just a few short days, I took a trip to Canada to see what our neighbors to the north think of our election. Here's what I got. Really? That bad?
Trump's got a mouth on him like a blowhorn.
There's no doubt about it. You guys are screwed.
I think it's absolute chaos. You got a tough choice, and either one has its pros and cons.
I know Hillary's crooked.
Because of our election, Canada thought we could use some cheering up, so they created the hashtag Tell America It's Great campaign, where Canadians share the reasons they think America is still pretty great. I asked for some Canadian words of encouragement, and this is what I got.
Just good luck.
The best of luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's what I said.
For SBU TV, I'm Brittany Slomba. I can't wait to see what happens on election night, Madeleine.
I sure can. While many celebrated Halloween this week, others honored other holidays as well. Lian Bunny tells us more.
Halloween, All Saints' Day, and All Souls' Day, right in a row. While Halloween may be the oldest tradition, the three holidays are actually connected. And while some dressed up in masks, hats, and costumes, others prepared for a different kind of celebration. Father Kyle Haden says Halloween began as pagan rituals to celebrate spirits. The church began All Saints' Day as a way to de-paganize the pagans.
In this case, it was the celebration of holy people within the Christian tradition, All Saints, who do not act as scary monsters in the night.
All Saints' Day celebrates saints as those who successfully imitated Christ and are good examples for others.
We as human beings, we all have models. We all imitate others in some form or fashion.
The holiday is a holy day of obligation for Catholics, meaning they're required to attend Mass.
All Souls' Day encourages the remembrance of family members who have passed away. Catholics pray for those who have died but await in purgatory for heaven.
So it's that remembrance to keep them in one's prayers, for them to continue that journey into God.
The Mexican holiday, Dia de los Muertos, combines All Souls' Day with old Aztec rituals. The 3-day celebration takes place from October 31st to November 2nd. People celebrate the lives of the deceased with festivals, food, drink, and costumes. So the next time Halloween approaches, keep in mind the different holidays, cultures, and traditions that go with it. With SBU TV, I'm Lian Bunny.
St. Bonaventure held Mass on All Saints' Day in the University Chapel.
This past week, Chris Gilbert explored our campus to find out who's keeping the tradition and letting their beards grow long this November.
The calendar has turned its page, and we are in November, which means it is No Shave November. It's a fun tradition that was just men growing out their beards and mustaches for the month of November has turned into something bigger, Moavero, which is now men growing out their mustaches in awareness for prostate cancer.
Bonaventure students are also participating in the movement, including myself. But they're not just doing it for fun, they're also doing it to make a statement. Senior Kelsey Gordinier is participating in Moavero, but his reasons for doing it is a little bit more close to home.
Junior came around and a close family member of mine was affected by prostate cancer, so it became more of a serious, legitimate thing rather than just like, you know, just something that everyone at school did. Now it's like something that kind of holds close.
Moavero is in place for prostate cancer due to the direct correlation between the two. And as for Gordinier, he has no high expectations for his facial hair. He just wants something to show at the end of the month.
A lot of curls, maybe no connection. The mustache to beard doesn't connect, so it's going to look kind of gruesome.
I will meet back up with Kelsey at the end of the month to see where his beard and mustache have gotten throughout the month of November. For For SBU TV, I'm Chris Gilbert.
To learn more, go to www.us.moavero.com.
This week in our series of Fall Fun Ideas, I took a trip to a local cider mill.
Hot, cold, or even slushy form, a favorite fall drink is in season for only a few more weeks and can't seem to stay on the shelves for long.
Here at Cummins Cider Mill, they offer cider hot by the cup, cold by the carton, or frozen by slushy machines.
Just past downtown Portville, the mill makes cider by demand, usually stocking up for weekends. To keep it fresh, the owner, Donnie Layless, makes it himself on site by what he calls the old-fashioned way.
We do 12 high, and you shove it down there, and then you put that, then that comes up through and shoves them up against that top right there.
Prices range from $6.95 to $3.50 for various sizes. Besides cider, Cummins is known for their homemade donuts in a wide variety of flavors, available at $9 for a dozen or $5 for half a dozen. Jelly, pickles, apples, Cuba cheese, and maple syrup are also sold. Cummins Cider Mill is open only September to November from 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and accepts cash or check only. For SBU TV, I'm Madeleine Faircloth.
For more information on Cummins Cider Mill, visit www.cumminscidermill.com.
Katie Brown ran into someone who is an all-rounder this week and learned that there's more than meets the eye when it comes to photography.
It's not every day that you come across someone lugging around a seemingly ancient camera.
Fortunately, I was able to run into Bobby Cider, pretty much a jack of all trades, who let me take a look at what I presume to be a historic camera. But really, it's younger than the one I use every week.
A lot of people are surprised. They actually ask me how old it is. And when I say it's about a year and a half to 2 years old, they're like, really? No way. They don't know how it works, and they don't know that I've made it. This is an 8x10 view camera. It takes an 8x10 inch picture when it does take it. And so it makes it so you can enlarge the picture to a massive, massive scale.
Looking into it was a bit confusing, but once I adjusted, it looked beautiful. Come on, let's take a look.
I'll typically offer people to see like underneath it and like look underneath, because when you do see it, you actually see upside down and backwards. The first time you look through it, it's amazing. It looks more clear than life itself.
It took Cider roughly 5 weeks to create the camera from the ground up.
It was built with scraps. Like a lot of the stuff you see on the side here, that's just plywood. This is actually floorboard. And then the centerpiece is just simple fabric that I found. It probably costs maybe like $30 in all supplies.
Students were so interested in the camera that a line formed with kids eager to see what was inside. For SBU TV, I'm Catherine Brown.
To check out Bobby Cider's photography and woodworking pieces, visit these websites.
That's all for us here in the Coop. I'm Madeleine Faircloth.
And I'm Brittany Slomba. Thanks for watching and have a great day.